guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing a decluttering. I have already chosen the products that I want to declutter, but just as a disclaimer, just because these products did not work for me does not mean that they will not work for you. They just, for some other reason, did not work for my dry skin, and I am passing them on to a friend, another friend, and hopefully they can find a home through that friend, and if she doesn't want the product, she can pass it on to whomever, so on and so forth. But yes, so this is my first declutter on my channel, and so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. The very first one that I am decluttering is the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. This was one of my very first high-end purchases from Sephora, and this is what the palette looks like. Now, the reason why I'm decluttering it is because the shadows in here do not really work for my skin, obviously. I am of a deeper skin tone, and these do not work at all whatsoever on my skin. So for that purpose alone, I am decluttering it. There is no point in me holding on to something that doesn't work. So it's time to go bye-bye to this palette, and time for it to find a new home. The next one that I'm getting rid of, this is the Lorac palette. And this is the Marcella Skin Eyeshadow Palette, and I got this off of the Whole Look website. You can buy brand named palettes for dirt cheap on that site, so it is a very, very good site. And as you can see, I did use this palette. I did try to use it, but again, the shadows did not work on my eyes. They did not blend properly. They just didn't do what they were supposed to do. I mean, when you swatch them, they're very nice. And when you swatch them on the arm, very nice. But on the eyes is a different story. So that's another shadow right there. And that's another one right there. So they are very, very nice eyeshadows, but on my eyes they just did not show up. They didn't have that bang, and I'm just like over it. So time to find a new home, especially if I'm not going to use it. It is just taking up retail space in my eyeshadow drawer. So I do not want it taking up any more retail space in my eyeshadow drawer, so we're gonna let it go. The next one that I am letting go is this Hard Candy Look Pro Smoky Eyes eyeshadow palette. I have never used it. I have had it for a while. I have never used it, but I think that it's time to go. I do not want to hold on to it anymore, so I'm going to pass it on to where it hopefully will get more use out of it. Again, passing it on to a friend. This is a swatch from one of these shadows on my hand right there, like right there. Very bad swatch. The shadow is very good, but again, I'm not using it. I don't want it taking up retail space in my eyeshadow drawer. So yeah, we'll be getting rid of it. The next one again is another eyeshadow palette that I have never used. is the Rock Nudes eyeshadow palettes from Maybelline, New York. Again, very affordable, very usable for those that do not want to buy high-end products. This is a very affordable palette, but for me, I did mostly swatch it, but honestly, the shades in here, they're not very pigmented enough for my eyes, and I did not like having to work extra hard to get them to be very pigmented at all. So I'm going to find a new home for someone that can love on it and give it some use that I could not do myself. The next palette, and this palette is a disappointment because it was my first hourglass purchase from Sephora, and this palette is raved about so much here on the YT that I went out and I wanted to give it a try, but it didn't work for me at all. And this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. So this palette has 3 different shades for highlighting your cheekbones and your brow bone, all the high points of your face. There's dim light, incandescent light, and radiant light. None of them worked for me. Absolutely none. And the darkest of the darkest that would have probably worked as a highlighter for me is dim light, and that in itself did not work at all either. So for that reason, like, it just didn't do what it was supposed to do on my skin tone. So for that reason, I will be decluttering as well. The next palette that I will be decluttering, again, because this is also a raved about palette here on the YT when the balm was just first came in, and this is the Nude Eyeshadow Palette from The Balm, and it is Nude Dude Volume 2. So again, not enough pigment, does not show up on my eyes the way I would like for it to show up on my eyes. So it's just sitting there collecting dust. Time for it to find a new home. Passing this on, and hopefully this person or whomever gets it will enjoy this palette more than I did. I seem to be getting rid of a lot of eyeshadow palettes. The next one is from Buxom, and this is the Suede Seduction eyeshadow palette. So these are all warm tone shadows. Okay, same thing with these ones, not enough pigment at all. They didn't blend very well, and I really couldn't see myself coming up with no more than one look out of this eyeshadow palette, and so for that reason it's not worth keeping or holding on to, so I will be passing it on. The next palette that I will be getting rid of, and we're almost down, we have one more palette to go through and then I'm done with the palettes, is another Lorac palette, and this is the Party Eyeshadow Palette from Lorac. And I also bought this off of the Hot Look website, and this is what it looks like. And again, I have used this a couple of times, but the shadows are very chalky. They do not blend very well, They're very dry and there's a lot of fallout. So no, I would not. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. So so again, getting rid of it for that reason. Chalky, fallout, ew, no, not me. The final palette that I am getting rid of is from Anastasia. And this is her glow kit that she just came out with for the holiday of 2015. Her other glow kits have gotten a lot of rave. So I wanted to get this one because this one is a lot closer to my skin tone. The shades in the other one are not all that close to my skin tone at all. So I didn't want to get those. But these ones, as you can see, are very, very close to my skin tone. The problem that I have with it, as you can see on the palette, look at that. See all that fallout? And see how chunky the glitters are? No, ma'am. No, no, no. Don't want chunky glitters on my face. Don't want to have to be cleaning out fallout and when I'm putting on a highlighter. I mean, come on. No, 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 no. So, time for it to find a new home. Now we're moving on to some blushes and some powders. The first blush, and this one isn't even open, is the Beautifying Blush from Sonia Kashuk. And this is number 14, pink. So this is not open, never used it, but it's taking up retail space in my blush drawer, so we'll be getting rid of it. And I will not open it because I want whoever to get it unopened so that they can swatch it for themselves. The next one from Sonia Kashuk is a cream blush, and this is in 03 Blossom. I am not a cream blush kind of person. I either put on too much or too little and it makes me look like a clown. So I will not ever be using it. So time to get rid of it. And the other one is also a cream blush, also in Blossom. So getting rid of both of those for the very same reason. I am getting rid of this Sephora powder. This is the Sephora Under Eye Setting Powder, and it's universal, it says here. And it's a smoothing translucent setting powder from Sephora. So this is what it looks like. It is white in the jar. Okay. First of all, the packaging on this, whew, that's a whole lot of dust coming up. The packaging on this sucks. In order to get it out, you have to push the silver button right there. I have tried so many times to do that, and I am not getting any product out to use it on my face. I mean, the packaging just sucks. The packaging on this is terrible. So for that reason and that reason alone, I'm decluttering it, all because of the packaging. The next few are blushes again. But the first one is from Hard Candy, and this is the Hard Candy Baked Blush in Honeymoon. First of all, it is the wrong shade for me. This will not work on my skin tone whatsoever, and I don't like baked products. That's what it looks like when it's swatched. I do not like baked products whatsoever. So me buying this is what helped me to figure out that I do not like baked products, and I will never repurchase another baked product again. Now, two products that I'm getting rid of are from Milani, and these are very highly raved about products. I do have one that I am keeping. I think I have about three. I'm getting rid of two. I have one that I'm keeping, which is the coral one, and that worked out very well for my skin tone, and I am keeping that for that reason. The reason why I'm getting rid of these Milani blushes, and this one is Tea Rose, and this one is 01 Romantic Rose. Okay, so I'm getting rid of both of those because, again, they do not work on my skin tone. They don't show. You can't even see that I have them on. So there's just a whole lot to why I'm getting rid of it. So it's time for it to go find a new home. Maybe someone else would find it to work for their skin, but not me. The next four blushes that I'm getting rid of are from NYX, and these are the NYX Ombre Blush, and this first shade is 0B04 Mauve Me, and I'm just going to say the name for each one. I'm not going to say the code name, but who's that going to work on? Why'd I buy it? Who is this going to work on? Like, really and truly. Like, where is this going to show up on me? Absolutely nowhere. Like, really? Come on now. The next one is in Insta Flame, and this is the only one out of all four that showed up on me, but it was very patchy, and it was way, way, way too warm toned for my skin. Like, way too warm toned. If it was more cool toned and not patchy, I would definitely keep it, and I did debate on keeping it just because it was the only one that showed up on my skin. But honestly, I'm like, there's no point. I was like, there's no point in me keeping it, and that's it, swatched right at the top right there. Like, there's just no point in me keeping it at all. The next one is in Strictly Chic. Again, where's that going? I mean, it is a nice warm tone blush, but there is no pigmentation on it for my skin. Like, look at how close to my skin tone that is. Like, no one will be able to see that, and no one will be able to tell I was wearing blush. I mean, but come on. When I wear a blush, I like to know my blush is there. I like to see my blush, okay? I like to see my blush. So this is no. The next one is the Soft Flush Blush from NYX. Again, same issue. Where am I going with that? What is that doing for my skin? Absolutely nothing. So, not worth keeping, and not worth keeping and holding up real estate where I can apply other blushes that I love and can use the most out of, okay? Now, the next ones, this one I used to love. I really, really used to love it, but it was my very first highlighter that I had ever bought, and I didn't have anything else to compare it to, so that's why I liked it a lot. But I've since learned my lesson, and learned that it doesn't work for me at all. This is the All Over Glow Bronzing Powder, and this is from the, this is, you can find these in your beauty supply store. I don't remember what the brand of makeup is, but you can definitely find them in your beauty supply. Now, if you take a look at that, do you see all the chunks up in there? Glitter, 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 and more glitter. Like, who needs all that glitter to be a highlighter though? And here it is swatched in my finger. And I mean, it is very nice. The glitter, it shows on the skin, but no, don't like it anymore. Not one of my favorites anymore. Do not recommend it. The next one that I'm getting rid of from NYX is the NYX Finishing HD Finishing Powder, and it is mineral based. So this is what it looks like in the package. Okay, and this, it's a mint green type of setting powder for the under eye. Chalky, 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 and that's what it looks like on my skin. It makes me look whitewashed, overdone, and where the heck am I going with that? Is it affordable? Yes. But is it a translucent powder? No. Not for me. It is not a translucent powder. It is a finishing powder. It wasn't meant for me, obviously. So I will be passing it on, and hopefully someone else can work with it. The next one that I am getting rid of and this is a very highly, 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 highly still raved about product to this day here on the YT. And this is the Balm's Cindy Luminizer Highlighter. It's just wrong for me. It's not my skin color. It doesn't show up. Like, it just, I feel I have to continuously apply, or I have to use a deeper highlighter and then apply this over top in order for it to show up on my skin. And that for me is way too much work. Like, look again, skin tone. Like, way too much work just to get a highlighter to show up. I do have Betty Luminizer, and that right there is a highlight that I can work with. I will not get rid of that one. I do have the Betty Luminizer, and I do really like that one, so, you know, yeah, I'll keep the Betty Luminizer, but the Cindy Luminizer, for me, just no. Now, this one is from Physicians Formula, and this is the Shimmer Strips, and this is comparable to the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Strips from Sephora, and I am getting rid of it because it is way too chalky. Way too chalky. Oh my, when I say chalky, I mean chalky. Like stiff, even in the pan, it is very stiff. It is a beautiful highlighter once you're able to get it to apply very well. But once again, too much work to get it to apply. And it is the second one right there. Like, but it, You saw how I rubbed in order to get it off. You saw how I had to like literally rub to get any of it on. Like, I should just be able to swipe once and get it. But come on. No. No. Too much. Way too much work to deal with a highlighter that's supposed to work one time and be done. The next item that I am getting rid of that did not work for me, and I just, excuse me, I didn't like the formula of this product, but a lot of people here on the YT liked it. It's the wet, not liked it, but they do like it, or they claim to like it. I don't know if they're saying they like it just to get you to buy the product, but I'm here to tell you, don't buy it, because it doesn't work for me. It didn't work for my dry skin, so I would not recommend it for you if you have dry skin. This is the Wet n Wild Contouring Palette, and it says on here that this was the new formula, and this is a shade Caramel Toffee. Again, it felt very dry. Oh, so many products in here that are dry and patchy for my skin. This is the yellow powder, which is the banana powder, which is this one, which is supposed to be used under eye. It made under, like when I used it, I felt like I wanted to scratch, like just claw on my skin, and I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. I literally had to, as soon as I got home, the first thing, I like to keep my makeup on for a couple of more hours just to get a good wear out of it. When I got home, I had to just wipe it off because it was just and the contour shade under here just doesn't work for my skin tone. Just does not work for my skin tone. So those are the two reasons. That's the reason I'm getting rid of that. And the final two products, and this is a very long video, but the final two products I'm getting rid of is this Milani eyeshadow in number 14, Bella Violet. And the reason why I'm getting rid of it, it is very patchy, very hard to work with, not very blendable, beautiful color, but not very blendable and very difficult to work with. And the next eyeshadow, my battery's about to die, so I'm trying to get through this very quickly. The last eyeshadow and the last product in this declutter is the NARS Single Shadow in Telesto. Very popular shade of eyeshadow in the NARS brand, but again, for me, patchy, hard to work with, did not sit in the inner center of the eyelid at all, came off, everything wrong with it. So I'm getting rid of it for that reason as well. Anyhow, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to comment and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Once again, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye guys.